Can the way your home is listed really make that big of a difference? Well, this Edison Park property sat on the market for 122 days with another realtor. I listed it, got it sold in 44 days, and no, we did not lower the asking price. It is true what they say. Not all realtors are created equal. There are agents that do this full time, have a lot of knowledge, and know what they're doing. There are a lot of agents out there that are part time, so they don't have the experience. Now, this particular property, I'm going to show you the differences. Now, the price it was listed at, in my opinion, and I told the seller, I thought it was still a little too high. That's the price he wanted to stay at because normally it doesn't take me 44 days to get my listing sold. I started out with a pre-marketing strategy, a lot of coming soon, advertisement, and so forth. A lot of realtors are doing this private listing network where it's only shown to other realtors can see it on the MLS, but the general public can't. I think that's as helpful as having an open house and finding an actual buyer for your place. So let's get into more of the details of this property. Okay, this home was located at 6673 North Octavia Avenue in Chicago, Edison Park. It was a Georgian with a two-story addition on the back. The home showed pretty well. Some of the stuff was a little dated because the addition, I believe, was put on about 18 years ago. But paying attention to the smallest little things make sometimes the hugest difference in whether or not the property is going to be shown. And if it's not shown, it's not going to sell. So let me show you some of the differences in just the MLS information on the property. Okay, these are the front photo from the listing. The first photo you see is from the previous listing. I don't know why, but they put some photos might be virtually staged. Sometimes in vacant properties, it's something they do. Every room of this house had furniture. Nothing was virtually staged at all. So I don't know why that was put there. On the other side is my listing where we had 35 photos. But sometimes when a potential buyer, they all start their search online. When they see that something is virtually staged, potentially, they usually know when they get there, it's going to not look anything like it. I don't like the virtual staging. I think it disappoints buyers when they show up at a property. But with this having all its own furniture, I can only imagine what buyers must have been thinking looking at those photos, the interior ones, and thinking this is virtually staged. Okay, this is one of the biggest mistakes an agent can make when listing a property in Chicago, the school district. You can see the one on the left, they have nothing on there. That's from the previous listing. All they have is that it's District 299. All of Chicago is 299. I have the schools listed on mine. It's something that buyers are searching for. If they're searching to, because they want a particular school or they want to stay at a particular school, That first listing with no school information on there, even if their realtor was searching for them, that listing would not show up. Okay, here's another section of the MLS where you can't write whatever you want. Like I said, a lot of it is multiple choice you could pick from. The only time you could really type whatever you want is in the description. But why would you leave it blank? The first agent left it blank. If you look on the right side, I filled in and checked off what it had: the skylight, the hardwood floors, the walk in closet, it had a deck. These are also searchable fields. Okay, here's a section of the MLS where we put in the rooms, the dimensions, what floor they're on, and what type of flooring they have. First of all, there were some mistakes in the previous agent's measurements. I double checked mine. I know that they were accurate. But even so, notice that kitchen, she has 10 by 17. I have the same dimensions for the kitchen, but I have 17 by 10. Just that one, call it stupid, little thing just makes it sound better. You know, something's $9.99. It's not $10, it's $9.99. You always put the larger number first. And she had no flooring listed. You know, hardwood floor is a big deal. A lot of people want hardwood flooring. And this house had it, except for the kitchen was ceramic tile. Why not, when you're putting the listing in, just put in all the information? Because when you add all of it up, it does make a difference. Now, she included the dimensions for the laundry room in the basement. I did not do that. It's not a finished room, but a lot of times agents will do that just to make the room count go up. What I did do, though, was she's got the family room listed as 22 by 18. I've got it as 19 by 13 because a section of that family room is actually a dining area off of the kitchen. The kitchen does have an island with stools, so it's an eat-in kitchen, but then it also had a separate eating area. There was a light fixture hanging there, a table. So that's not part of the family room, but that's why my family room dimensions are a little bit less than what the previous agents were. Okay, here's another section where room dimensions are listed. She's got the previous agent again, no flooring. All 3 bedrooms have hardwood floors. That's a big deal. Also, going with the, again, larger number always goes first. But in addition to that, notice how the 3rd bedroom they have as 16 by 11. The 2nd bedroom they have 10 by 11. First of all, it should be 11 by 10. And secondly, the smallest bedroom should be the last one listed, not the second one. Okay, this is another section of the MLS where you can just provide more information about the property. The previous agent was missing what I feel is important information. The style of the home, I have it listed as a Georgian because that's what it is. For the exterior, they had brick. Well, the 2-story addition on it is not brick, it's vinyl sided. So I have vinyl siding and brick. Now, for the heating, it is gas forced air heat and central air, but it's zoned. They have 2 furnaces and they have 2 condensers. That's important information that a buyer would want to know. Now, the kitchen, the previous agent left it blank. I filled in what I could pick from the multiple choice that applied. That there's an eating area, that there's a breakfast bar, and that there's an island. For dining, I have that that's separate because, like I talked about in the family room, that was a separate dining area. Under the electricity, they left it blank. I put down circuit breakers. All these seem like little things, but a lot of little things start to add up. Okay, here's another small section of the MLS sheet that provides a lot of information. The lot size, we both have less than a quarter of an acre, but for the lot description, the previous agent left nothing. I put fenced yard. You would not believe how many people include that in their search because they have pets or kids or whatnot. To me, personally, I think it's not a big deal. You could put up a fence, but that is one of the most requested search fields that I've seen in the 25 plus years I've been doing this. And the funny thing is the buyer that bought this property has dogs. I believe they were relocating here for a job transfer and they had been looking for a while. So there's a very good chance that had this been filled in by the previous listing agent, this buyer would have found it, their agent would have showed it to them, and I never would have gotten the listing because it never would have expired. So this one detail could be what prevented the buyer from buying it sooner because we did a pretty fast closing because they had to be in there. Okay, here's another one that you might think is very small, petty, but the showing instructions. The previous agent had click showing assist, owner occupied, please give some notice. Now, I just put use showing time. I don't know why a lot of agents always put that they need notice or stuff like that, because if the seller isn't available, they can always decline the appointment. But maybe they already had a showing. And so if it's a last minute showing and they already had somebody coming, why miss out on potential showings? Doing it this way, that's what happens. Unfortunate for the seller, they could be missing out on several showings just because of this one little thing. And finally, one last minor detail, but makes a big difference. The previous agent under possession listed closing. So that means they're getting possession at closing. I listed closing, immediate, or negotiable. Because whether or not the seller knows where they're going, I always ask them for the right price. Could you be out in a few days? They usually say yeah. So I include all three because if it's somebody that needs immediate possession because they have to move in somewhere, we don't want to miss out on it. If the terms don't work, then the terms don't work. But why would you limit it to just putting closing? When you just put closing, that kind of sends out a signal to the buyer's agents that the seller already has a place to go. So they might be desperate. So let's come in with a low offer. It's like a hand of poker. You don't want to show your cards. So again, another little thing, but could have a big impact on your sale. Okay, here you can see the other agent, same list price, $579. Remember, I told the seller I thought that was a little high, but 122 days on the market. I put it on the market, the exact same price, took 44 days to sell, and it sold for 567.5. Usually when a property is priced correctly, the old rule was if it was priced correctly, it would sell within 10,000 of the asking price. Over the past few years now, the strategy has changed. If you're pricing them right where they should be, they're selling at or above asking price. Well, there you have it. All these little things add up to big deals when you're selling a property. Every minor detail counts. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please subscribe, hit the like button so you'll be notified of future videos. And like always, any questions, all my contact information is below. Feel free to reach out at any time, and I'll see you in another video.